1, 2, 3.
On today's episode of Free Unsolicited Cooking Knowledge, I'll be making cranberry goat cheese flatbread. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Welcome back, my little spoons. If you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because I'm what? The missing ingredient to your kitchen. As you saw today, we are making cranberry goat cheese flatbread, and this is the perfect little appetizer headed into the holidays. The next big holiday for me is the American Thanksgiving. Yes, I am half American, so I get 2 Thanksgivings every year, which is super exciting. But if you do not celebrate the American Thanksgiving, we also do have Christmas coming up, and this also makes a great appetizer for the holidays, whether it's a work potluck or, you know, Christmas Eve or even Christmas Day. I think it's delicious, it's easy to make, and very few ingredients. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get into it. All right, as usual, all ingredients and measurements are listed down below in the description box. And the first step is you're going to preheat your oven to 375 degrees. I'm going to do that. Now that your oven is preheating, we're going to move on to the main component, and that is prepping your cranberries. So before I show you how to do that, I'm actually splitting this recipe in half, and I'm doing 2 different ways of prepping the cranberries. One will be made with maple syrup, and one will be made with honey. I personally like the honey one. Cody is a true Canadian and likes the maple syrup one, but I just wanted to show both so that you have reference to it. Either way, they're both delicious. So yeah, anyway, here we are, 1 bag of cranberries. The recipe calls for 1.5 cups. This is basically that much, but I am going to split it up, as I said. But first things first, we are going to rinse these. Let me get my strainer, my little strainer here. Bless you, Darwin. All right. There's a couple of rotten ones in there. Oh, I'm just going to sift through this. Okay, there was just a couple. No, there's more than a couple. Go through your cranberries. Okay, I'm gonna rinse these. I'm gonna go through them, and then we will be back for the next step. Okay, so we have washed our cranberries and we have split them evenly into 2 separate oven-safe bowls. And just a quick little story about cranberries. Actually, on our East Coast trip, I really wanted to do cranberry picking, but I'm really happy I didn't. I learned a lot in school, as well as TikTok. I've heard the stories. Harvesting cranberries is a thing of nightmares, in my opinion. So basically how they do that is they grow the cranberries and they flood the fields, and then you go into the water and you scoop up the cranberries. I think we've all seen the Ocean Spray commercials, but they release a natural predator during the growing season, and those predators are called spiders. I'm learning this in integrated pest management, one of my classes, and they do wonderful things for the environment, but the environment and me, we can stay separate on this, because as they flood the fields, the spiders run to the top of the water, and if you're in the water trying to harvest the cranberries, who do you think the spiders are gonna crawl up to escape the water? You. That's right, you. And you know what? The cranberry life just ain't for me, okay? That's why I'll just buy it from the store. I don't think I've seen any at the local farmer's market, because I don't know if this area is really conducive to growing cranberries. I'd have to see what kind of soil they need, etc. But yeah, that's a fun little tidbit I wanted to share with you. So if you are thinking of being a part of the groups that go out there and harvest them, just be mindful that you may have spiders on your head. All right, moving on. What I'm gonna do is the next ingredient is maple syrup or honey, and basically I'm gonna do maple syrup in one and honey in the other. This is, I wanna say local, but it's not. It is an Ontario maple syrup, and it was made in Perth, Ontario. And the reason why it has all this is because this is what they were giving out as favors at our friend's wedding. So I'm going to use it in this dish. I don't want to ruin this lovely little flower thing. Oh, there's a tie. Whatever, I can keep that on. Okay, I'm just going to put that aside. So for the 1/2 of this recipe, we're going to do 1.5 tablespoons of maple syrup. Oh, just beautiful. 1. And I'm just going to fill roughly half of this. 2. And the other half is going to be honey. This is not the usual honey I use. I had to borrow this from Mom. We went to go pick up our local honey and no one was there at the door to sell us the local honey. I highly recommend always sticking to local honey. Not only does it, well, I've heard it helps with your allergies because you're eating like the honey produced from the pollinators in the area, but it's just not filled with garbage and corn syrup and stuff. I don't believe this is, oh, from London, Ontario. A blend of Canadian and Argentinian honey, so you know it's not real. Anyway, this is what I had. All right, not everyone has access to local honey either. If you are in the store, try to stay with something that seems a little more like made in Ontario or in your area, but I get it, times are tough. Also, I'm gonna need to get a tablespoon and a half of this, and it's hard. I might have to put it in the microwave. Okay, hang on. We're gonna get through this. Oh no, it didn't really fit. It's okay if it's a little chunky, it will warm up and melt. Oh, in the oven. This might have to be a rough estimate. There. I think that's pretty much it. I'm so upset that they weren't there at their house today. If you're doing one batch, it will be 3 tablespoons of your regular honey or maple syrup. I'm gonna set that aside, and the next ingredient is going to be a chopped shallot. Here we are, it's fairly large. Okay, and as I've said before in other episodes, you're gonna cut it along the root, leaving the root attached, as you can see. So basically it calls for like a tablespoon of chopped shallots. I'm going to make a little bit of a grid. And that way I get even slices of that shallot. I'm gonna cry. Oh, that's powerful. So emotional. I'm so emotional, baby. Okay, and then we're gonna do the other one. I'm gonna try not to cry. Oh, my eyes. There we go. Ah! I'll be right back to show you what's next. Hold that thought. It's supposed to be like half a tablespoon of shallot, but I love shallots. You can measure with your heart on this one. Basically, we did about a tablespoon each. Now that the shallot has been added, we're gonna go ahead and add our herbs and other ingredients. And I'm going to do about half a teaspoon of fresh thyme. Here we are, and basically you're going to grab the end and you're just gonna slide off the little leaves. All right. Oh, I missed the entire bowl with that one, Cody. You can do as little or as much as you want with this. That's the beauty of herbs. This is a very strong herb, so if you don't like thyme, I suggest doing not that much. And then your next ingredient, of course, is going to be salt, about half a teaspoon, maybe even a quarter teaspoon. I'm just going to give it a generous cover. Pull that water out when you put it in the oven. Okay, and then we're just gonna mix it, combine it all, make sure everything is nicely covered. It looks so pretty. Really gets that holiday season vibe, you know? Also, I should have mentioned when I said preheat the oven, pull your goat cheese out so it's closer to room temperature for the next step or when these are done baking. Oh, I'm always just a hot mess in the kitchen. All right, and that is all the ingredients for your cranberries. So basically, you're gonna pop these in the oven for 15 minutes roughly, or until your cranberries start to burst, because we're trying to get like that jam consistency. I will be right back. It has been about 15 minutes, but I feel like the cranberries need a little bit longer to cook, so I'll put it in for another 5, maybe 10 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to prep the flatbreads. So basically, you're going to get an oven tray with parchment paper, and then you're gonna put your flatbreads on top. So hold it up. Here we are. I have the tray with the parchment paper, and with many things of my channel, if I can cut corners, I will. So I went out and bought some flatbread to use. I was gonna make flatbread, but I am not experienced in the bread making world yet. I do wanna do some experiments before I actually film an episode for y'all. Howdy. Here we are, 2 little flatbreads. This is President's Choice. Please sponsor me. And in case you are wondering, naan bread is different than flatbread. Naan bread is made with yogurt and something else, where flatbread is literally just flour, water, yeast. Yeast? Maybe not. I should look into that. So I have my 2 flatbreads flat on here. This is prepped and ready for the next step. I guess I will be back with the cooked down cranberries. It has been about 20 minutes. This is kind of what it looks like. This is the maple syrup, very cooked down. This is the honey. So these are very hot. I'm just mixing it and I'm just like smashing down like any of like the cranberries that still look whole. They're definitely cooked. It smells so good. Oh, it smells like the holidays. So you're gonna grab your flatbread. I'm gonna do the top one as honey. And you're basically going to lay down your cranberry jam mixture. Look at this. Look at this. Delicious. Yeah. Okay. And then the maple syrup. I have a little bit of cranberry left over and I might use it to top the goat cheese. Your beautiful cranberry jam has been laid out on your flatbreads and you're going to take your goat cheese and you're going to kind of crumble it all over the flatbread. And I just got to figure out how to open this. Again, you can do like as little or as much goat cheese as you want. And you can do plain goat cheese. Also, there's goat cheese in stores that have cranberry. I choose not to use that one because I don't want it to like flavors to mix in case it just tastes different. I'm gonna grab a spoon. I'm just gonna place the goat cheese on top. This is what they look like before they go into the oven. Just beautiful. Now that you have placed your goat cheese on the flatbreads, I'm going to put this back in the oven for about 8 to 10 minutes or until the edges are like a golden brown and the cheese is slightly melted. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and I will be right back. And here we are. It has been actually about 13 minutes. I just wanted to make sure that I got a nice golden brown on the flatbread and underneath is starting to become golden brown. It smells delicious. I'm so excited. I'm gonna show you what it looks like. Just gorgeous. And I'm just going to add what very little jam I have left. Also, you can use like not as many, I was gonna say strawberries, cranberries, but I'm here for the cranberries. Oh. And I'm just gonna add a little bit more of fresh thyme just to make it even more pretty. This is what it looks like. Now that it's done, I'm going to use my pizza cutter. I don't know how sharp it is. I feel like it's been dulled over the years. And I'm gonna put a slice of each on each plate. Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna need to get a new pizza cutter, Cody. All right, I'm gonna set this aside and then it's going to be TTT, taste test time. All right, so I'm gonna do the honey one first. Oh my God, it looks so good. I love the holidays. It's so good. The tanginess of that goat cheese with the sweetness of the cranberries. Oh, so good. The thyme is just like adding like this extra layer of like freshness. It's just, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. I'm gonna try the maple syrup one. Still good, probably, but not my favorite. Believe it or not, the maple syrup is way sweeter. I don't know what it is. The maple syrup makes the cranberries very tart tasting, whereas like the honey mellows it out a little bit more, but they're both freaking delicious. Would you like to try some?
Yes.
Okay, this is honey. And then this is maple syrup.
Wow.
You could use less cranberries if you don't want it so forward. I think
it's great.
I like it this way. Just because like I think there's like enough goat cheese to like balance it out, but I personally love the honey over the maple syrup.
The honey was nicely balanced.
Yeah. Also, the maple syrup doesn't really taste mapley, in case you are wondering, but it adds like a deeper sweetness to it, in my opinion.
I think it definitely makes it more tart.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Clean plate club. Also, I would like to say that the shallots add like a beautiful sweetness to it as well, with still having that shallot flavor. It's just, it's a holiday miracle. Thank you, my little spoons, for lasting this long in the video. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got inspired to make this sweet and savory dish. If you don't want this to be too sweet, I would stick to the honey and even cut back on some of the cranberries if you wish. If you love sweet tartness of cranberries, go ahead and use that maple syrup. It doesn't taste mapley. I just want to let you know in case you are worried about that. You could also throw rosemary on it. It doesn't have to be just thyme. Overall, it is delicious. Like I said, it makes for a great appetizer. Cody thinks it's super filling, so it may be hard to stop at just one. Anyway, thank you, my little spoons. And you know what? This flatbread. See ya.
I'm